With the Speed Champions theme nearly approaching 100 cars and vehicles, and its 10th year anniversary right around the corner, I thought now would be a good time to reflect upon what we have versus what we need next. We had 5 years of 6 stud wide vehicles, well, one 5 stud wide, and 5 years of 8 and 9 stud wide cars. What are we missing from the theme, or which smaller scaled car do we need remade into a larger scaled version? To understand what we need, let's first examine what we have. Let's first start with Formula One. We've got 10 cars in total, which include 2 Aston Martins, 1 McLaren, 4 Mercedes, and 3 Ferraris. There's one Ferrari I don't have, which is the F14T. That was part of the Scuderia Ferrari truck in 2015. That was the inaugural year of the Speed Champions theme. Over here we've got the 312 T4. It was released in the Ferrari Ultimate Garage set from 2018. The real car competed in 1979. Here we've got the SF16H, competed in 2016. The Lego set was released in 2017. Here we've got a pair of Mercedes AMG Petronas W07, part of a pit lane and racetrack set, play set that was released in 2017. These cars competed in F1 in 2016. Right here we've got the McLaren Mercedes MP429. It was part of a pit stop set in 2015 and competed in 2014. The Mercedes AMG W12 was brought into Lego form in 2022. The real car competed in 2021. These cars are all from the current year, 2024, and competed last year. Well, at least these two, the McLaren MCL60 and the Aston Martin AMR23. And this was a safety car, Aston Martin Vantage safety car. Formula One cars in Lego form will most likely be ramping up next year, as we got a rumor that the racing sport will spread across multiple themes, including Lego City, and I would expect a big impact on the Speed Champions theme as well. So this is what we have. What are we missing? Well, I'm not seeing any red in the recent F1 cars. Yeah, we're needing a modern Ferrari, the SF24. Also wouldn't mind seeing a remake of the 312 T4 or some other classic Ferrari. I know fans are really itching for a Red Bull car. Perhaps with all of the LEGO idea submissions being rejected, it's a sign that LEGO was working on licensing and the design of the car. It may be a bit too soon for a remake of the Mercedes F1 car, as it's still available for purchase on LEGO.com, but we'll see. I would like to see a UCS-style pit lane or garage, similar to the F1 playset that we seen years ago in the Ferrari Ultimate Garage, but this time around being an 18+ set and not particularly a playset. I think the theme has been evolving, straying away from playsets and becoming more of a collectible and model car. So that's what I would like to see, some 18+ sets. Perhaps we'll see an Audi F1 car in a couple years' time, as they'll join the racing sport in 2026. And should IndyCar be represented in Lego form? There's over 20 Le Mans or IMSA-inspired cars. I'll group them by car manufacturer and take a closer look at them later on. Now let's talk about Ferrari, as this car manufacturer has the largest presence in the theme, with 14 cars and a truck. We covered the 3 F1 cars in the truck already. Here are the other 11. Starting with the oldest on the right is the LaFerrari and the 458 Italia GT2, both of these being released in 2015. Next to it is the FXXK from 2017. It came with the whole development center and had a cool action feature with it. Beside it is the Scuderia Corsa 488 GT3, was released in 2018. Same with these cars. In 2018, we got the Ferrari Ultimate Garage. It came with these two and one of the F1 cars. This is the 48 GTE and the 250 GTO. The 250 GTO is based off a 1960s Ferrari racing car. And here's the last of the Gen 1 Ferrari cars in the Speed Champions theme, the F40 Competizione, and it's based off of the 1989 iconic car. The F8 Tributo was the first Gen 2 Ferrari in the Speed Champions theme. Next to it was a car released in Lego form in 2022. It's the 1970 512M. We've got the 812 Competizione, released in 2023. And finally, released this year, the F40, based off of the 1980s car. That's what we have. Now, what do we need next in the Ferrari lineup? Well, on the subject of 1980s cars, I feel like we need a Testarossa, preferably a Spider. We should also have an early 2000s Enzo, maybe a remake of the 250 GTO in the larger Gen 2 format. As for modern cars, I don't know, how about the Daytona SP3 or the SF90? 296, anyone? Or how about the upcoming 2025 V12 supercar with the engine in the front? I was so happy to see an improved F40 after 5 years. There's so many choices for Ferrari, as there's so many fast cars in its history. Whatever we get, it'd be nice to get something in yellow one of these days. Continuing with Italian makes, let's cover Lamborghini next. There's 4 vehicles in total and consists of the Urus STX, the Huracan Super Trofeo Evo. Both of these cars were part of a 2020 Lego set. We've got the 1980s Countach that was released in 2022, and the V12 Vision GT from 2024. Just to be clear, I'm not covering the small car builds that were sold in polybags. This is what we have. So what do we need next? I would really like to see a 90s Diablo. An Aventador SVJ would be cool as well. Or maybe a Revue Elto? Imagine that Lego produces this car in its new reddish-orange color. If Ferrari's not going to produce a yellow car, I think we need Lamborghini too. And then we've got the Loaner Pagani, rounding out the Italian makes. This Lego set was released in 2023. We have 19 Italian cars in total, 20 if you count the truck. That is pretty substantial, but not as substantial as the German manufacturers, as there's a total of 24 cars, which include Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, and BMW. And in fact, the quantity of German vehicles lead all countries in the Speed Champions theme, which is 24. USA comes in second with 22, Italy with 19, the UK comes in fourth with 17, Japan has 3, and these 2 countries, France and Sweden, have 1 each. We currently have 10 Porsches, only 1 from the Gen 2 era, which is from 2020 onward. The very first Porsche we've seen in the theme was from the inaugural year of 2015. It's the 918 Spider. We also got 2 911 GT cars that same year. They came in a set with starting lights and a podium. In 2016, we got a set with the 919 Hybrid and the 1970 917K. They both came in a set together with a pit lane and garage. In 2018, we got another 919 Hybrid, as well as a 2-pack of cars that included the 911 RSR and the 1970s 911 Turbo 3.0. There was another 911 Turbo 3.0 in 2019, but this time in white. I'm missing this one. And then 4 years later, we got the 963 Le Mans Daytona Hybrid. This is what we have. What do we need next? Definitely need more Porsches scaled up, in particularly 911s, and there's a lot to choose from in its history. And my top choice would be this GT3 RS in Dark Azure, or a remake of the 1970 917K would be cool as well to join the Ferrari 512M from that same racing year. Personally, I'd like to see a remake of the RSR, as I've got the larger scaled Technic version as well. Well, the same goes for the Ferrari 488 GTE. Oops, it looks like I forgot the wheel covers in my previous video shots. I've got them added now. Aside from the F1 cars, we have 4 Mercedes vehicles in the lineup, the first of which is the Mercedes AMG GT3 from 2017. By the way, some of the 6-stud wide or Generation 1 cars had swappable front ends or rear wings. This is the Project 1 car from 2022, and we've got the SL63 and G63 from the current year. The G-Wagon has always felt out of place to me. I feel like perhaps there should be a sub-theme or a different theme altogether for licensed vehicles that aren't recognized for their speed. I'll always welcome licensed vehicles, don't get me wrong, in LEGO form, but don't think they should throw in luxury cars or trucks or SUVs that aren't fast or racing related into a theme titled Speed Champions. Anyway, that's what we have. What are we needing? I'd really like to see a remake of this GT3 car and maybe a Mercedes McLaren SLR 722. Now let's take a look at our Audis. There's 4 of them, starting with the R8 LMS Ultra. We've got the R18 e-tron Quattro. Both of these are from the year 2016. We've got the 1985 Audi Sport Quattro S1, released in LEGO form in 2020, and the S1 e-tron Quattro, aka Ken Block's Hunatron. We're definitely due for another R8, perhaps a Spider this time. Not related to Audi, but on the subject of rally cars, I would like to see a Subaru Impreza WRC next. BMW is new to the LEGO theme as of 2024, and I'm not expecting we get a lot more Beamers soon, but would certainly welcome it if we did. What we do have is the M4 GT3 and the M Hybrid V8. Now this may be a stretch, but do you think motorcycles should be added to the theme? I'd like to see a small motorcycle collection to include some BMWs and Ducati models. We finally covered all the German cars. The Bugatti Chiron from 2017 is the only French car represented in the theme. Needless to say, we need this car revived in an 8-stud wide scale. Perhaps a Bolide as well? The Koenigsegg Jesko from 2021 is the only Swedish car. Wouldn't mind seeing an Agera to join this Jesko. Japanese cars rolled out into the scene in 2020 with the introduction of the GTR Nismo R35. Next, we saw the Toyota GR Supra in 2021. Then in 2023, our latest one is the Too Fast, Too Furious Skyline GTR R34. This was the last movie car seen in the theme. A lot of people are hanging on to the edge of their seats for a Back to the Future DeLorean or other movie cars. I personally like to see more cars from the Fast and Furious franchise. My top picks in no particular order would be Brian's Supra, Brian's Eclipse, Suki's S2000, Rome's Eclipse, Hans' Veilside RX-7, and DK's 350Z. Come on, we need more drift cars. Now it's time to sail across the Pacific and into America, in particularly Ford country. We've got a total of 10 Fords, starting with the Mustang GT from 2016. Also from that same year, we got a set including the 1920s or 30s Model A Hot Rod and the F-150 Raptor. 2017 is when we first saw the Ford GT, actually a pair of them. We've got the 2016 Ford GT on the left and the 1966 GT40 on the right. In 2018, we got the 1968 Mustang Fastback and the Fiesta M Sport WRC. 2021, we got the Bronco R and the GT Heritage Edition. And in 2024, we got the Mustang Dark Horse. The Ford I'd really like to see Legofied is Hoonigan's Ford Mustang, aka the Hoonicorn. I mean, we've got Ken Block's Hunatron, so we need this now, right? Also, the Mustang GTD would be sweet, but I doubt we'd get another Mustang so quickly. By the way, who you saw standing in front of the Fastback is not the original driver. I was just seeing if you were paying attention. There's a total of 7 Chevys in the Speed Champions family. which consists of the Corvette Z06 from 2016, the 2016 Camaro, the 1969 Camaro Z28, got the NASCAR Camaro ZL1 that was released in 2019. Next to it is the C8R Corvette from 2021. And also in that same set was the 1968 Vet. And in 2024, we got the NASCAR Next Gen Camaro ZL1. Whoops, you were seeing some twins in that last video clip. Still working on getting all of the original drivers back with their cars. Honestly, we need a more iconic NASCAR car to represent the sport. Would like to see Jeff Gordon's DuPont car, or Dale Earnhardt's Goodwrench, or Richard Petty's Plymouth Superbird, even. I think any of those would have been more welcome than just this generic ZL1. And we definitely need the 2025 Corvette ZR1. To round out the American cars, we have 5 Dodges, and ironically, 3 of them are a 1970 model. Over here, we've got the 2018 Challenger SRT Demon. Next to it is the 1970 Charger RT. Both of these came in the same set in 2019. In 2021, we got the 1970 Challenger Trans Am. And that set also included the Mopar Dodge SRT Top Fuel Dragster. And in 2022, we got Dominic Toretto's Fast and Furious 1970 Dodge Charger. I think we need a remake of a modern Challenger or a modern Charger. However, most importantly, we need a Viper. The Dragster is still definitely the most unique car in the theme. I love that they did this. Love the engine detail. Can we get more engine details in our cars? I'd love to see Speed Champions cars having liftable hoods to reveal the engine details. But even if they can't fit them under the hood and can't make that function work without compromising its design, at least give us a side build of what that engine would look like. Well, that covers the 3 American manufacturers represented in the theme. But come on, America is more than just Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. We could use Bandit's Firebird Trans Am, Shelby Cobra, or how about a Tesla? And now we're sailing across the Atlantic and into the UK. Aside from the F1, McLaren has 6 cars representing its manufacturer. Here's the P1 from 2015, the first year of Speed Champions cars. The 720S from 2017. The Senna from 2019. The Elva from 2021. The Solus GT. And the F1 LM from 2023. It'd be cool to see the P1 remade, or the Senna, and the 750S would be another good choice, or maybe the Artura. By the way, if I'm not giving a shout out to the cars you would like to see next in the theme, let me know. Let me know your top picks. Now let's cover the Aston Martins. There's 5 in total. However, we covered the F1 team earlier, so let's cover these 3. We've got the Valkyrie AMR Pro and the Vantage GT3. These were released in a dual pack in 2022. Also in 2022, LEGO dropped this iconic movie car, which is Bond's DB5. I'd be interested in seeing Bond's DBS or Bond's Vanquish. Yeah, I'm a big Bond fan here. The 2 Jaguars in the theme are from a dual pack in 2020. Here we've got the Formula E Panasonic Jaguar Racing Gen 2 car. And this is the I-Pace E-Trophy. Though this set was a really good value at $30 US, I feel like these cars weren't the best choice. I would have preferred the XKR, as featured in The World Is Not Enough, or the CX-75 from Spectra. Again, big Bond fan here. To round out the UK makes, we have a pair of Mini Coopers. The first of which is the 1967 Mini Cooper S Rally Car. The second is the 2018 Mini John Cooper Works Buggy. This combo set was released in 2019. I'm not expecting minis in the 8-stud wide scale, and I think that this 5-stud wide Mini Cooper Rally Car was brilliant. As for the Lotus, we have the Avia from 2022. The next choice of Lotus is easy, the Esprit. In particularly, this one. No, I'm joking. I think LEGO and Hot Wheels should cross paths and do a collab. Like this video if you agree with me. Well, that covers all of the LEGO Speed Champions cars across 10 years of time and my thoughts of what we should see next. Let me know your thoughts on how you would like to see the theme evolve over the next 10 years. Anyway, I hope we have many good years to follow.